Hi, and welcome back to Automation Airwaves. My name is Kent Andrews with Agilify Automation. I'm the Director of Professional Services. Today's episode specifically deals with change management. And what do we mean when we say change management, and why do we even think about that with automation? Well, most folks that we talk to day in and day out are coming to us to talk about automation as a solution. However, we do need to align that automation program with this, with some type of systematic approach as we work through that digital transformation to achieve those organizational goals within that company. And so there are various components that we want to consider. It starts with the people. And that's something that, when we look at solution, we don't always think about the impact on our associates. I was just recently at an event with Fortune 500 companies, and the number one topic that they brought up in our discussions was, how do we get around automation anxiety? How do we get around working with our associates to become the pipeline for process opportunities? We all know that after we go through and get those quick wins in our automation program, we now have to look elsewhere for those automation opportunities, and what a better place to do that than the folks that are manually doing the processes now. So as we look through the change management and as we go through the next couple episodes, we're going to dig deeper into how does IT show up from a change management standpoint. Something I'm sure that we've all felt even in our own daily work lives. You walk into your office in the morning, there's been a push that's been pushed out to your desktop that's changed either a look or feel or how you're going to perform that work that day. Well, your digital workers and your automation program are just the same. And without bringing IT into the fold and without being at the same table as IT with the leaders of your automation program, we're not going to have access to that information to be able to get ahead of it in front of it. It's nothing worse than walking in the morning and realizing that your digital workers either didn't show up to work the night before or weren't able to run the tasks that they were asked to run. Another component of change management is the business process change management. What does that mean? Well, it's the struggle that a lot of us have when processes are changed. How do we modify our daily work in order to compensate or to adopt some of the changes that have been made because of the automations that have been added? Things like digital workforce management. How are we managing our digital workforce in comparison to our human workforce? How do we know what they're doing from a daily standpoint? These are all things that you want to take into consideration, and we're going to dig into a little bit deeper later down in another episode. We also are going to be talking a little bit more about an automation grade business analyst, which is a little bit different, a little different skill set than you would see in a normal business analyst. And that's something that's going to help your functional units, your business units, work through what processes are actually automatable and which ones aren't. It's a very important topic. At the end of the day, it comes down to greed dollar savings for a lot of our clients. And you want to pick the right processes, and knowing the components of a successful process up front is a very key component. The last item that we're going to talk about in a further episode is organizational change management. And this is really how the impact of automation plays out on the people in the organization. We want to ask questions like, do you have a leader or sponsor for your automation program? Have you thought about those items as you're pushing and driving automation into your organization? What kind of training around automation is required? Do we need to take the time to step back and do an automation awareness type training for your organization and for the people that are affected by automation? Can we flip them from being a so it does to so I can do conversation through that training so they become advocates for your automation program? How do we handle that resistance? And those are some things that we're going to be digging into during our OCM episode later in Automation Airwaves. I want to thank you for joining me today on Automation Airwaves. These topics are very important to us as we drive automation into organizations, and I'm looking forward to digging into them deeper with you. Once again, I'm Kent Andrews with Agilify Automation. If you need further information, you can always reach me at Kent Andrews RPA on LinkedIn, or please visit our website at agilifyautomation.com. Thank you.